The Havanese possesses a distinct, razor-sharp Cuban intellect that sets them apart. Forget the sheepdogs. These guys are the ultimate Velcro dogs for a reason. They are characterized by profound social intelligence and an intense desire to be near you. While they weren't bred to herd sheep, their history as circus performers tells you everything. It highlights a sophisticated mind capable of mastering complex sequences and tricks. They are far more than ornamental lapdogs. They are observant and alert. In fact, they interpret human body language with astonishing speed. Their cleverness is rooted in emotional connection. Because they were bred strictly as companions, their motivation to learn stems from a deep-seated need to harmonize with the family dynamic. However, this emotional sensitivity creates specific challenges for the uninitiated owner. Because the Havanese is so attuned to your mood, they can be easily crushed by harsh tones, leadership. Therefore, training a Havanese requires a cheerful, gentle, yet unwavering approach. Methods heavily reliant on praise and connection yield the best results. These sensitive souls thrive on positive attention and the feeling of being a good dog. Unlike teaching a fun trick like spin or high five, housebreaking is a multifaceted undertaking that remains the single biggest hurdle in puppy rearing. It is difficult because it involves managing biological urges rather than just cognitive obedience. You're tasked with managing a microscopic bladder. You're bridging a communication gap with a nonverbal species. It requires adhering to a routine with military-grade precision. The core difficulty lies in the fact that you are working against the puppy's physiological development and natural instincts. A Havanese puppy is born with the instinct to eliminate the urge arises. They are completely oblivious to human concepts of sanitation or plumbing. Furthermore, as a toy breed, the Havanese has a significantly smaller bladder than larger dogs. They lack the muscular maturity to hold it for any meaningful duration. They can also rapidly develop a substrate preference, deciding that your absorbent area rugs are the perfect bathroom. This happens after only a few accidents. To succeed, you must commit to hundreds of repetitions to rewrite these instincts. You have to hardwire a habit of going outdoors. Ultimately, success depends on your dedication to vigilance, patience, and consistency. The process is exhausting. It demands you keep eyes on the puppy constantly. You must actively supervise them every second. Utilize a playpen or the umbilical cord method by tethering the leash to your belt when you cannot focus on them. The schedule is demanding, requiring outdoor trips after every nap, snack, and play session. This will inevitably disrupt your day. It also entails waking up for late-night relief trips. Additionally, you must scrub any indoor accidents with an enzymatic cleaner. You have to chemically erase odors that would otherwise act as a beacon. That smell invites the dog to soil the same spot again. To summarize, potty training is difficult because it is a marathon of patience. It's a clash with biology and a complex negotiation between species. However, recognizing these obstacles allows you to tackle the process with empathy. You can be confident that your bright little Havanese will succeed with your gentle, persistent guidance. The foundational move in housebreaking is establishing a single authorized toilet area. You must begin this practice immediately. The moment you carry your new Havanese through the front door, lead them directly to this location. Do this before doing anything else. Ideally, this should be a designated section of your outdoor yard. Designating a specific bathroom spot is a cornerstone of successful training for a routine-oriented breed. For a habit-forming creature like the Havanese, having a single zone prevents confusion. It makes cleanup manageable and saves the rest of your garden from becoming a minefield. The target area doesn't need to be fancy, just a dedicated patch of ground. However, you must weigh a few factors. Accessibility and convenience is arguably the most critical factor. Since Havanese have short legs and small bladders, the journey from the living room to the potty spot needs to be swift. You have to avoid accidents on the way. Ensure this zone is reachable, rain, snow, or season. The type of surface you choose plays a significant role. Most dogs naturally gravitate toward grass. It is soft underfoot, which appeals to the delicate paws of a Havanese. It retains scents that trigger the instinct to eliminate. If grass isn't an option, substrates like wood chips or mulch are acceptable alternatives. Pea gravel is another common selection for dog runs because it drains well and is easy to scoop. However, you must verify that your small dog is willing to walk on the uneven stones. For apartment dwellers with balconies, high-grade artificial pet turf is a fantastic modern workaround. These systems are built for drainage and are easy to wash down. When finalizing your choice, look for an area that provides shelter and privacy. Because Havanese are small and can get cold easily, a spot shielded from strong winds is essential. Furthermore, a secluded corner helps a distractible puppy focus. You should also take into account the proximity to noise and traffic. Avoid picking a place right next to a busy street. Don't pick a spot near a loud neighbor or your own patio furniture. Havanese are alert watchdog types. If they are too busy barking at distractions, they won't relax enough to finish their business. This results in accidents later. Keep this location static year-round. Do not confuse them by shifting the spot as the seasons change. New puppies are blank slates with no concept of indoor sanitation. It falls to you to teach them that one specific patch of earth is for the bathroom. The rest of your home is off-limits. Establishing these rules from the moment they arrive makes the transition smoother. Be consistent and do not alter the designated location. You should pick a consistent verbal command for going to the bathroom, such as go potty or do business. Select a short, clear phrase and use it exclusively to avoid puzzling your pup. As you place your Havanese in the grass, recite the cue calmly. This cue should always be spoken in a positive and encouraging tone of voice. Make sure everyone in the family is using the exact same command. If mom says potty and dad says hurry up, the puppy will be confused. Learning will slow down. After establishing the location, you must make it abundantly clear to your Havanese that using this spot is a celebrated event. A critical guideline is to offer praise the exact moment your dog completes the act. Use a cheerful, high-pitched voice to say, "Yes, good potty, good dog." Follow this verbal praise instantly with a premium treat. Pick something exquisite reserved solely for this accomplishment. This immediate positive reinforcement is the most powerful tool you have. It wires their brain to understand cause and effect. They realize that relieving themselves in that specific patch results in delicious snacks and happy humans. This turns a mundane biological need into a rewarding game for your dog. This strong positive association tells the puppy precisely what you desire. It makes them eager to cooperate. Timing is everything. This is non-negotiable rule. You must deliver the prize within 1 to 2 seconds of the act being completed. Dogs live entirely in the now. If you delay the treat until you are back in the kitchen, they will think they are being rewarded for walking through the door. They won't connect it for what happened in the yard. It is vital to utilize a high-value reward that is exclusive to potty success. A dry piece of their standard kibble is rarely enough to excite them. It lacks the motivational power to convince a puppy to hold their bladder. They need a real reason to trek outside when they could easily go on the rug. Look, positive reinforcement isn't just some trendy buzzword. It is hands down the most effective way to train any dog. And for your Havanese, it's not just effective, it's mandatory. These guys are absolute softies. They wear their hearts on their sleeves. If you come at them with harshness or intimidation, you're going to crush their spirit. It's heartbreaking to watch. Even the big science organizations back this up. They say stick to rewards because the scary stuff does real psychological damage. Think of it like this. It's your dog's paycheck. You wouldn't show up to work every day for free, would you? Of course not. So why should your Havanese follow the house rules if they aren't getting paid? You've got to make it worth their while. For potty training, the rewards need to be expensive. I'm talking gourmet level. Tiny bits of cheese, maybe some real chicken. Keep those special treats strictly for outdoor successes. You want that reward to be so good that your dog is literally begging to go outside just to claim it. And don't just toss the food at them. Throw a party. Praise them like they just won the lottery. Your approval is everything to this breed. It's the ultimate prize. On the flip side, punishment, it's a disaster. It's cruel, and honestly, it works against everything you're trying to do. If you start scolding or yelling, you're just going to break the trust your Havanese has in you. You'll end up with a nervous, fearful wreck of a dog. There was actually a study back in 2020 that proved this. They looked at the physiology of it. It's pretty wild. They found that dogs trained with yelling or leash corrections were way more stressed. Their cortisol levels, that's the stress hormone, were through the roof compared to dogs trained with rewards. It's proof that being mean doesn't work. Your Havanese is a sensitive soul. They need a gentle guide, not a drill sergeant screaming orders. If you try to intimidate them, they might just hide behind the sofa to do their business. Or worse, they'll just shut down completely. A relationship built on safety and love is the best tool you've got. You need a plan. Creating a rigid, predictable daily flow is the absolute bedrock of success here, especially for a little companion breed like the Havanese. These dogs find so much comfort in patterns. Knowing what comes next makes them feel secure. That steady routine teaches them the rhythm of the day. It drastically reduces accidents. It builds their confidence. Ideally, you want to chop the puppy's day into specific blocks. Time for sleep, time for play, learning, meals, and bathroom trips. A solid schedule actually helps regulate their digestive tract. That makes their elimination needs way more foreseeable. Sticking to set meal times is a huge part of this strategy. When you feed your Havanese at the same hour every day, their bathroom habits get predictable. It runs like a clock. Offer meals 2 or 3 times a day, but keep the timing exact. Do not leave food out all day. This free feeding thing, it's a nightmare for potty training. It makes it impossible to know when they'll need a break. You have to control the input. That's the exact time food enters their system. If you control the input, you gain control over the output. Your plan needs to be anchored by 5 non-negotiable potty break times. First up, immediately upon waking. This is the #1 most predictable time a puppy needs to go. As soon as your Havanese stirs from a nap or wakes up in the morning, move fast. Carry them straight to the potty zone. Do not pass go. Next, go out shortly after every meal. Eating kickstarts the digestive system. It's called the gastrocolic reflex. Because Havaneses are so small, they often need to poop fast. Sometimes it's within 10 to 30 minutes of eating. Then you need to go out after every play or training session. Physical activity, the zoomies, using their brain, it all stimulates the bladder. Once the fun stops, a boring trip to the potty spot is mandatory. No exceptions. Also, take them out right before they're left alone. Always provide a potty opportunity before you crate them or leave the house. This empties the tank. It gives them the best chance of staying dry while you're gone. Finally, go out right before bedtime. This is the last chance to empty the tank for the night. Make sure it's the very last thing you do before lights out. Beyond these standard trips, write it down. Seriously, keep a log in the early days. Record when your pup sleeps, eats, drinks, plays, and pees. This data reveals their unique biological rhythm. Write the schedule down, post it on the fridge. Consistency is everything here. The whole family has to be on board. If one person slacks off and lets the puppy roam, it can undo weeks of hard work. To housebreak your puppy, you have to understand their physical limits. There's a standard rule in the dog world called the month-to-hour ratio. The American Kennel Club backs this up. It basically says a puppy can hold their bladder for 1 hour for every month of their age. So a 2-month-old puppy can usually hold it for 2 hours. A 4-month-old might last for 4. Simple math, right?
However, this rule usually caps out around 9 months. You shouldn't expect an adult dog to hold it for 12 hours just because they're older. But here is a massive disclaimer for you. While that ratio is a nice baseline, it is not a guarantee. Your Havanese is a toy breed. They have significantly smaller bladders than a lab or a shepherd. That means less storage space. You have a much smaller margin for error. It is always safer to err on the side of caution. Take them out more frequently than the formula says. There are other variables that mess with the timing too, like sleep versus activity. When they sleep, their metabolism slows down. That lets puppies hold it way longer overnight than during the day. But vigorous play, that stimulates the kidneys and digestion, so a potty trip is mandatory immediately after playtime. Feeding routine matters too. Remember, what goes in must come out. A rhythmic feeding schedule lets you predict when they need to go. Usually, it's shortly after eating. Fluid management is another trick. Limit access to water an hour or 2 before bedtime. That helps ensure the crate stays dry all night. Also, watch for red flags. If your dog was doing great and suddenly starts having accidents, pay attention. Sudden changes can signal medical issues. A vet visit is crucial to rule out things like UTIs. Here is the golden rule. Use the time ratio as a rough maximum limit, not a target. Successful potty training is proactive, not reactive. You should always aim to take your puppy out before they reach their limit. Don't wait for them to dance by the door. Avoid the discomfort. Avoid the mess. Look, the Havanese is the ultimate Velcro breed, right? They are desperate to please you and totally bonded to their humans. Because of that connection, they'll almost always try to tell you before they explode. Learning your specific puppy's unique dialect is the whole game here. Puppies can be pretty clumsy communicators at first, but they refine those signals as they grow up. You have to be observant, almost paranoid, ready to run. The moment you spot a cue, you act. Watch for the intense sniffing. If they suddenly stop playing to sniff the floor like a detective, they're hunting for a spot. That's usually stage 1 of the potty sequence. Then there's the circling behavior. They spin in these tight little loops to trample down the grass. It's pure instinct, even if they're standing on your expensive rug. Keep an eye out for restlessness and pacing too. If your Havanese can't get comfy in your lap, they're fighting the urge. A shift from chill to frantic is a huge red flag. Also watch for sudden halts in play. If you're playing fetch and they just drop the toy to wander off, that physical urge has probably overridden the fun. Some Havanese are shy and will actually try sneaking off. If they slip behind the sofa, they're looking for privacy. Your smart dog might just stare you down and vocalize. It's a specific urgency whine, distinct from their play bark. If subtle fails, they might resort to pawing at you. It's a direct plea for help, so don't ignore it. The final warning is the squatting or posturing. If you see that, or a hunched back, you have literally seconds to act. Now, how you handle the mistake is just as critical as the reward. Havanese are sensitive, soft-tempered little marshmallows. Harsh reactions can induce fear and totally rack your bond. If you catch them in the act, interrupt them immediately. Make a sharp noise, like a clap or a firm "uh-uh." You
just want to startle them enough to stop the flow. Don't terrify them, just scoop them up and run outside. If they finish outdoors, praise them calmly but genuinely. But what if you find the mess later? Do absolutely nothing to the dog. It is paramount you get this. They aren't doing it to be spiteful. They have a tiny bladder and are still learning the rules. Never punish, shout, or rub their nose in it. That is totally counterproductive and teaches them to hide from you. Reflect on it and treat every accident as a data point. Did you wait too long or miss a signal? Use that info to tighten your schedule next time. Now, let's talk about the chemistry of cleanup. Most owners fail here because they use the wrong products. When a dog pees, they leave behind proteins and pheromones. Standard cleaners like bleach might smell fresh to you, but they fail to break down those molecular traces. Your Havanese has a super nose and will smell that residue.
They'll instinctively go back to mark that spot again. The solution is you have to use an enzymatic cleaner. These are formulated with bioenzymes that digest the urine proteins. It kills the odor rather than just masking it. Without it, you're leaving a toilet here sign for your dog. Accidents are frustrating, but they are rarely random. To solve it, you have to understand the cause. It's usually a breakdown in communication, not malice. Consider physiological immaturity as a prime suspect.
All right, listen close because this part saves relationships. You gotta know the difference between a training failure and what I call emotional leakage. It's a real thing. It is basically an act of social appeasement. The dog is literally screaming with their body language that they respect you. They're saying, "You are the leader, please don't hurt me." It usually happens if they feel intimidated or if you're looming over them. Then there's excitement urination, which is honestly kind of cute if it wasn't so messy. This hits puppies hard because their nervous systems are just raw. They see you, they feel intense joy, and their body just forgets it has muscles to control. Oops. So how do we manage this mess? First off, never punish them. Seriously. Scolding a dog for this just spikes their anxiety or excitement. That makes the leaking way worse. You have to keep your arrivals and departures super low-key. Don't do the high-pitched baby talk the second you walk in the door. That just winds them up. Get low instead. Crouch down to their level and scratch them under the chin. Avoid patting the top of the head since that can feel threatening to a little guy. If you can, do those initial greetings outside on the grass. That way, if they leak, well, it's just watering the lawn. And if it happens inside, clean silently. Grab that enzymatic cleaner and don't make a fuss. Most dogs grow out of this as they get confident. Just when you think you've cracked the code and your Havanese is trained, bam, they start using the rug again. We call this potty training regression. It's brutal, but it is a super common phase in a dog's maturation. You aren't alone. There are triggers for this. The big one is the adolescent phase, between 6 and 12 months. Hormones go crazy and they decide to test boundaries and conveniently forget everything. Or maybe it's environmental stress. Havanese are obsessed with routine. You move a chair, get a new house, or change your work shift. That anxiety comes out as pee. Another big one is giving them too much freedom. You let them run wild before they were actually reliable. That's a recipe for disaster. Or maybe you got inconsistent. Admit it, you stopped the praise or stretched those potty breaks too long. And always check for medical trouble, like a UTI, if it happens out of nowhere. To fix this, you have to go back to basics. Hard reset. Restrict their freedom immediately. Go back to the crate or playpen if you can't stare at them. Increase the frequency of your trips. Take them out on a leash just like they were 8 weeks old again. Use high-value rewards. Throw a party and treat every outdoor success to lock that habit back in. Deep clean everything with an enzymatic cleaner to kill the smell triggers. Regression is usually temporary, thank goodness. By gently bringing back structure, you remind your smart Havanese of the rules.
they'll bounce back. Now let's talk about the night shift. Surviving the dark hours needs a specific strategy. You have to balance their physical needs with teaching them to sleep through the night. Building a reliable evening ritual is essential. It helps empty the tank and settle their energy. The most important step? Limit food and water intake for about 90 minutes to 2 hours before bed. This simple trick stops that tiny bladder from filling up while they snooze. It lowers the risk of bedwetting significantly. As that final hour approaches, switch gears. Stop the high-octane play. Focus on calming interactions. This slows down the puppy's heart rate and metabolism. It primes them for a deep slumber. For overnight training, the crate is your best friend. Keep it in your bedroom for the first few weeks. This lets you hear them if they wake up and genuinely need to go.
Plus, it comforts the Havanese because they're clingy and hate being alone. But realize this, a young puppy, like 8 to 12 weeks old, physically cannot hold it for 8 hours. Their parts are too small. Small breeds process waste fast. You will need to take them out. For the first week or two, be proactive. Don't wait for the crying to start. If you hit the sack at 11 with an 8-week-old, they've got maybe 4 hours in them. Set an alarm for 2:30 or 3 in the morning. Wake them up for a break. This prevents accidents and shows them you control the schedule. Pro tip time. Keep these night trips strictly business. Light slow, soft voice, zero play. Before we dive into the nitty-gritty, let's just tackle the big questions right up front. Is crate training actually required? What is the point of it, really? Look, I know some folks hesitate here, but even the American Kennel Club ranks the crate as a top-tier potty training tool. The logic is simple. Dogs are actually very clean animals. They hate making a mess where they sleep. The Humane Society, the group now called Humane World for Animals, they agree with this 100%. They say it's a vital tool for house training.
Now, look, it's not a magic wand. You have to use it correctly or it backfires. And yeah, for some specific dogs, crates might not be the answer. But listen, breeders, vets, and trainers like me, we recommend this constantly for a reason. The success of this whole method hangs on one thing: your dog's natural denning instinct. By nature, your pup is a sanitary little creature. They prefer keeping their sleeping quarters unsoiled. Since the crate acts as their personal den, a Havanese will instinctively do their absolute best not to pee in there. That instinct is gold. It teaches them to hold their bladder until you let them out to the right spot. But here is a super crucial note on sizing. The crate needs to be Goldilocks perfect. It should be just big enough to stand, turn, and lie down. If you go too big, your Havanese is just gonna potty in one corner and sleep in the other. That completely defeats the purpose of the den instinct. You can use the crate for overnight sleeping, when you leave the house, or just when you can't watch them like a hawk. Using it this way cuts down accidents drastically. It forces them to learn that bladder control. Honestly, for a Havanese, these guys can be tricky to housebreak because they are so small. The crate is arguably the single most valuable tool you've got. It provides a straight, fast, proven path to getting those reliable habits you want. But, and this is a big but, you have to be humane about it. It has to be a safe haven for them. It's for management when you can't supervise, never a prison cell for punishment. Leaving a puppy locked in there for hours on end is just cruel. It'll actually force them to soil their den, which ruins the training. If you work a 9-to-5 job, listen to me closely. Do not leave your dog in the crate all day. Just don't. Get a dog walker or find a daycare. You've got to be fair to the dog. Let's talk about bell training. It is such a highly effective way to help your puppy tell you what they need. It eliminates all that guessing work. When you're staring at them wondering if they're pacing or just bored. This gives you a clear, audible alert. Bell training is just teaching your pup to ring a bell when they need the bathroom. To get this going, grab some bells, some high-value treats, and a whole lot of patience. Pick bells you can hear from the next room.
Just make sure they aren't so loud they scare your sensitive little Havanese. Sleigh bells on the doorknob work great, or you can put a standalone bell on the floor. The core of this is simple association. You want the puppy to link that ding with the door opening. You start by ringing it yourself every single time you walk them out. Then you teach them to touch it on command. Start it as a generic trick for a treat. Then move that trick over to the door. The reward becomes the door opening. Finally, you put it all together. They have to ring it to get out, and they get a massive reward only after they go potty outside. As for the setup, hang those bells on the door you use most. If you use a floor bell, put it right by that same door. Make sure the height is right so your Havanese can boop it with their nose or paw easily. Then you build the routine. Every time you go out, you initiate it. Ring the bell and say your cue, like potty or outside. Immediately open the door and go. Repetition is the key here. It helps them lock in that sound with the action of going out. But for this to work, you need to be sharp. Everyone in the house has to be on board. You have to react instantly when that bell rings, especially at first. You also have to teach them the bell is strictly for business. It is not a summon the human for playtime button. Havanese are incredibly smart dogs. If they ring it and you take them out to play, guess what? They'll learn to ring that bell just to get outside for fun. Don't let them outsmart you. Before your new Havanese even walks through the door, you need to be ready. Get all your equipment sorted to make this adjustment smooth. Stock that pantry with high-quality, small-breed puppy food. Grab some stainless steel bowls and set up a cozy crate as their sanctuary. For safety, buy a harness, not a collar. It's way better for their delicate little necks. Get a standard leash and an ID tag with your info. And don't forget the chew toys and brain games. These dogs are clever, and you need to keep them occupied. Now, here is the cleanup essential you cannot skip. You must buy an enzyme cleaner. Regular cleaners just mask the smell to our human noses. An enzyme cleaner actually breaks down the pheromones chemically. That way, the puppy can't smell their old accident. If they can smell it, I promise you, they will go back and mark that spot again. Getting the house ready is pivotal for keeping them safe. You have to puppy-proof rigorously. Hide those electrical wires, toss the poisonous plants, lock up your chemicals, and check your yard fencing. These guys are agile, and they will find a way to escape if it's not secure. Indoors, set up a puppy zone with baby gates so you can actually watch them. Decide on your outdoor bathroom spot before day one. The first few weeks are absolutely decisive. You're building success through structure. Set a schedule for feeding, potty breaks, and sleep. It helps them feel secure. Start socializing them early, too. Introduce them to noises and people gently. Start basic obedience with positive reinforcement. And hey, puppy classes? Great idea for good behavior. Look, I get it. Those little white squares seem like a lifesaver. You're thinking about your nice rugs and your long work hours, and suddenly a pee pad looks like the answer to your prayers. Whether you use them really depends on your lifestyle and what you want for your dog long term. But let's be real for a second. If you want a Havanese that is fully house-trained, these things are usually a bad idea. Sure, they're convenient when it's pouring rain or you live in a tiny apartment, but relying on them, that's asking for trouble down the line. It creates this confusing gray area for your puppy. You're basically telling them, hey, sometimes it's totally cool to pee inside the house. That messes with their head when your main goal is getting them to do their business outside. And let's not forget, a bored Havanese puppy sees a pad as a crinkly toy to shred.
Next thing you know, you've got pee-soaked confetti everywhere, which is gross and a choking hazard. It gets trickier because you're creating a surface preference. Your dog gets used to that soft, squishy feeling under their paws when they go. Fast forward a few months, and suddenly your expensive bath mat feels exactly like their toilet. Or that pile of laundry you dropped? Fair game. It makes switching to an outdoor-only routine a total nightmare. Now, I'm not a monster. I know sometimes you don't have a choice. If you're on the 30th floor of a high-rise or you've got mobility issues, okay, fine. Maybe you've got an unvaxxed puppy and the streets are risky, or there's a blizzard outside. In those specific cases, use them for management, but don't fool yourself into thinking it's real training. If you want a smart dog that goes outside for life, rid the Band-Aid of. Focus everything on that one spot in the grass. Keep it simple so you don't scramble their little brains. If you are backed into a corner and have to use indoor stuff, you've got to be smart about it. We're talking about a Havanese here, not a Great Dane. They are small, they are cute, and they have that glorious double coat that is a pain to clean. You need a setup that balances comfort with serious hygiene. They don't make huge messes, but their bladders are the size of a thimble, so they go all the time. You need rapid absorption technology, or else that pee is pulling right onto their silky skirt. Nobody wants a pee-stained dog cuddling on the couch. They aren't usually destructive, but they are playful little clowns. If a pad is too light, they'll drag it around like a prized kill. Plus, you're probably in a smaller space, so odor control is non-negotiable. They want to please you, but if the pad rustles like a bag of chips, they might think it's playtime, not potty time. Let's look at your options. First, you've got the heavy-duty disposable pads. These are the go-to for ease. You use it, you toss it, and boom, the mess is gone. It keeps the urine away from those delicate paws and protects your floors. But let's be honest, your wallet is going to take a hit over the dog's life. It adds up. It's also a lot of plastic going into the landfill. And like I said, the plastic backing is tempting for a bored puppy to chew on, which is dangerous if they swallow it. Then there are the washable potty pads. These are great if you want to save money and be eco-friendly. They usually have a soft, quilted fabric that feels nice for the dog. You buy a bunch up front and you stop throwing money away. But here is the catch with washables. You have to actually wash them. It's a commitment. You need a strict laundry routine with the right detergents. If you don't get that ammonia smell out completely, your house will smell, and your dog might stop using them. Finally, we have the innovative solutions, things like synthetic grass or grate systems. These are clever because they feel different than your rugs. It helps the dog understand, okay, this weird texture is the bathroom. Real grass patches are even better for transitioning to outside later. It smells right and feels right. But brace yourself because they are expensive. You have to take them apart to deep clean them, which is a chore. And the fresh grass subscriptions, you have to keep paying or else you're just growing mold in your living room. Pick the tool that keeps your home fresh and your sanity intact. You need to start house training the second that puppy walks through your front door. Do not wait. The magic window is between 8 and 12 weeks old. Their brains are like little sponges right now. They are soaking up patterns, locations, and reactions faster than you can imagine. This is the imprinting period, so whatever habits they pick up now are going to stick like superglue. Good habits or bad habits, it's up to you. Starting immediately sets the ground rules for their entire life with you. It stops the confusion before it even starts. I know, they are tiny, and it feels like a test of endurance, but if you launch the process early, the rest of the journey gets way easier. If you procrastinate, you're asking for trouble. Delaying this instruction lets your puppy decide that rugs or hardwood floors are perfectly good places to pee. That is a substrate preference, and correcting it is brutal. Once they decide the carpet is the toilet, convincing them otherwise is a war. But a quick warning, don't be too crazy early. Trying to be strict before they are 8 weeks old is a waste of time. Before that, the wiring just isn't there. The connection between the bladder and the brain hasn't hooked up yet. They physically can't hold it, and they don't have the cognitive maturity to understand what you want. So start at 8 weeks, hit the ground running, and don't look back.
House training is the first big mountain you have to climb. It's the main thing on every new owner's mind. We all wish there was a graduation date, like, okay, on Tuesday the 12th, we are done. But reality doesn't work like that. Every dog is on their own schedule. It's a nuanced journey, and sometimes it feels like you're pushing a boulder uphill. Havanese are toy breeds, and that adds a layer of difficulty.
You might see them getting the hang of it around 4 to 6 months, but reliable, trustworthy, that can take 8 months to a full year. Remember, they have high metabolisms and tiny tanks. They physically have to go more often than a Labrador. The timeline is totally fluid. Even within the breed, you get variances. Some puppies are geniuses and get it instantly.
Others are a bit more timid or stubborn and need extra time to grow up. You have to watch your specific dog, not the calendar. Consistency from you is the only thing that matters. I cannot stress this enough. If you have a strict routine and watch them like a hawk, you win. You need to offer instant, joyous praise the second they go. That is the key to speeding this up.
If you are inconsistent, you lose. Scolding them one day and ignoring it the next just confuses them. You'll puzzle your sensitive little dog and stretch this whole thing out for months. So don't lose heart if your 6-month-old isn't perfect. Expect them to backslide, especially when they hit their teenage phase. Just understand that getting to that rock-solid reliability is a marathon, not a sprint. It's going to take the better part of their first year, so buckle up.
Patience and consistency. Write that down. Tattoo it on your forehead if you have to. These are the twin pillars of success, and they are non-negotiable. You are the human, so you have to bring the discipline. Shaping a dog's behavior is a massive commitment. Havanese are incredibly sensitive to your tone and emotion. If you get frustrated, they shut down. Your specific puppy might need you to show them 10 times before the light bulb goes on. Gentle guidance is the name of the game. They are bright dogs and they want to make you happy, but they don't speak English. They don't download the instructions into their brain instantly. You are going to have accidents. It happens, but you have to remain calm. If you freak out, you set them back. Keep a steady, patient approach, and you'll get a well-adjusted adult dog. Make sure everyone in your house is on the same page, too. If mom says potty and dad says go pee, the dog is confused. Training is a developmental journey. It's a marathon, remember? Every Havanese is unique. They mature at their own speed. The foundation of a good outcome is your ability to stay cool. The energy you put in now is an investment. You are raising a polite companion for the next 15 years. So celebrate the tiny victories. Did they pee on the grass? Throw a party. Training is an ongoing dialogue, not a final exam. Your dedication is going to result in a loving sidekick. Just stick with it. Let's go through the ways people mess this up. We see the same errors over and over again with sensitive breeds like this. Mistake number 1, punishing accidents. Never, ever rub their nose in it. That is old school garbage. It breeds fear. It teaches them to hide behind the sofa to pee so you don't yell at them. It doesn't teach them where to go. It just teaches them you're scary. Mistake number 2, inconsistent schedules. Your dog needs predictability. If you feed them and walk them at random times, their body clock goes haywire. They can't hold it if they don't know when the relief is coming. Mistake 3 is giving them too much freedom too soon. If you let them roam the whole house, you're asking for disaster. They will find a secret corner to pee in, and suddenly it's a habit. Keep their world small until they earn the space. Mistake 4 is improper cleaning. If you aren't using an enzymatic cleaner, you aren't cleaning it. Their noses are amazing. If they smell even a trace of pee, it's like a green light saying, "Bathroom is here." Mistake 5 is relying on those potty pads we talked about. It creates a gray area. They can't tell the difference between the pad and your expensive rug. Mistake 6 is weak rewards. Saying "good boy" in a monotone voice isn't enough. You need to throw a mini party with high-value treats within 3 seconds. Give them a reason to hold it. Mistake 7 is confusing play and potty. If you go outside and immediately start playing, they get distracted. They forget to pee, you go inside, and boom, accident on the floor. Bore them into peeing first, then play. Mistake 8 is missing their signals. It can be subtle. A sniff, a circle, a sudden stop. If you're on your phone, you miss it. Mistake 9 is using the crate wrong. It is not a penalty box. If you leave them in there too long, they will soil it. That ruins their natural instinct to keep their bed clean. And finally, mistake 10 is mishandling regressions. Your teenager dog is going to slip up. Don't get mad. It's not spite. It's just a signal that you need to tighten up the routine again. Okay, the header says herding, but let's correct the record. These dogs are lovers, not workers. To train them, you have to understand their history. They were developed in Cuba to be the ultimate companions for rich people. They weren't herding sheep, they were warming laps. They were designed to be shadows. Their whole purpose in life is to be your charming, emotional partner. That isn't just a fun fact, it's the key to their personality. This is why they are Velcro dogs. They are fixated on you. They suffer if you leave them alone for too long, because it goes against their DNA. Modern life is hard for them. The soul of that companion dog is still in there. Understanding this need for connection is how you manage separation issues. If they feel isolated, they might panic pee in the house. It's not spite, it's sheer stress. The best way to train them is to use that desire to please. Harsh discipline crushes them. Manage their need for closeness. Channel their cleverness into tricks. To handle the separation anxiety, you have to teach them that being alone is safe. Do it gradually. Reward them for being calm when you leave. Give them puzzle toys to build some independence. Channel that powerful little mind. Socialize them with people and dogs so they aren't scared. And keep them from getting bored. Use food puzzles, try agility, do trick training. They want to work with you as a team. Socialization isn't optional for a Havanese. It's critical. If you don't do this, you end up with small dog syndrome. You know the type. Yappy, fearful, nipping at ankles. Early positive socialization is your best defense. A well-socialized Havanese is friendly and chill. They know the difference between a threat and a mailman. You need to introduce your puppy to everything. Different humans, other dogs, wind environments. Take them to safe places. Let them walk on grass, pavement, gravel. Let them hear traffic, sirens, vacuums, blenders. Stay away from dog parks for now. That's too chaotic. Wait until they are vaccinated and have a good recall. But you need to expose them to the world. Havanese are sensitive, so you need to bolster their confidence. If you don't, that Velcro attachment turns into defensive anxiety. You want happy experiences, not overwhelming ones. Don't just throw them into a crowd. Be their advocate. If a big dog is too much, step in. Don't let strangers overwhelm them.
The most important window is the first few months. Get them out there, but keep them safe until those shots are done.
That first year is huge. It sets the stage for a polite, confident friendship. The American Kennel Club knows this, so they have these two great programs. You've got the STAR Puppy and the Canine Good Citizen. The STAR program is the first step for the babies. The CGC is the gold standard for grown-up dogs. These aren't just participation trophies. They are actual titles you can put on their name. It's a great goal to shoot for. The STAR Puppy program is for dogs under a year old. It stands for Socialization, Training, Activity, and Responsibility. It's a 6-week course, not just a one-time test. You work with an evaluator. It focuses on progress, not perfection. It builds a foundation so your Havanese learns to focus on you, even when things are distracting. Then you have the Canine Good Citizen. This is the big leagues for manners. It tests 10 specific skills. Can your dog sit politely when a stranger says hi? Can they walk through a crowd without freaking out? Can they ignore a distraction? It's open to all dogs. It's a respected credential. It can even help with housing or insurance. These programs work together. They give you a path to follow. It proves you put in the work to raise a good dog.